With over 800 exhibitors gathering in Las Vegas, Nevada, NBAA-BACE is North America's largest gathering for the business aviation industry. After being forced to cancel the event in 2020, NBAA 21 will simply not disappoint. With unprecedented demand for private aircraft coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, the world's most advanced business aircraft are here on display. Suppliers up and down the supply chain are represented here at this event and come together with private, corporate, and commercial business aviation operators from across the industry, all ready to meet face-to-face once again and collaborate in advancing the business aviation industry. And now we're joined by Kenneth Dichter, the founder of Wheels Up and a serial entrepreneur. He is working very hard to bring aviation to the masses and having tremendous success. As you might know, Wheels Up has recently gone public and has really had one of their best quarters ever in this recent year. Kenny, thank you so much for joining the program today. We really appreciate you being here on Straight and Level, live at the NBAA static display.
It's amazing. I feel like I'm on a college game day set.
That's exactly what he was
great.
going for.
Yeah, I mean, this is like unbelievable. Hulsey, thanks for having me. Ashley, Jeff, great to meet you, and thanks for having me here.
No, I appreciate it. You know, as we've talking about the whole aviation industry right now, we're facing unprecedented growth, really, in the history of the business, probably since World War II. Wheels Up is a major contributor to that growth because of your democratization strategies. Tell us about how big the growth actually is in the industry. What are you seeing in the aviation industry right now?
Well, I think, you know, the numbers tell the story. If you track the hours flown in the space, you know, the industry is looking at historic demand levels, and the very interesting thing about the dynamic is high net worth families traveling around are most of that demand, and the corporate leg of that of traditional business aviation not quite back. I think when we see the offices open around the country and the world, I think you're going to see that corporate aviation pop back in, and then demand could be even larger and bigger and more powerful than it is today.
Well, I think one of the unique aspects of your business that probably gets missed is that it's not just about a membership program. It's truly about an all-encompassing solution and bringing aviation into and integrating that to your lifestyle. I call it the country club of private aircraft is what Wheels Up is, and the way I explain it to people. Tell us about the experience that you're able to bring to your members.
Well, I say, you know, when we think about democratization, you know, private aviation has typically been you know, really a small addressable market, you know, whole aircraft and traditional fractional. That's tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 people in businesses who can afford it. The way that Wheels Up, you know, we're looking to be the Airbnb, the Uber, the Amazon of the space, and really opening it up. Addressable market, the way we view it, starts with people with $1 to $10 million of net worth, which is 17.9 million people in America. You know, U.S. is 65% of the global market, so you can extrapolate that out. You got 30 million people globally that are in the addressable market. Humans are hardwired to fly privately, so we're just trying to give them a solution.
Absolutely.
When I was walking the floor and just talking with the different businesses and brands, a lot of them confessed they're trying to find a way to reach that younger market, to reach that next generation of buyers, but it seems like you're kind of ahead of that curve. You already have that plan.
Yeah, I think most of the market is traditional. Obviously, you know, you got some great history and legacy in this space, but you're not going to be able to hit that younger demo if you're trying to sell them a whole airplane or trying to sell her a whole airplane or a fraction. That's a 5-year commitment, millions of dollars. If you want to hit the younger demo, you got to make simple and easy. You know, again, you got to Uberize it, you got to Airbnb-ize it. Ultimately, through technology, we want you to be able to hit 3 buttons and your plane's there 8 hours later.
Do you see the demand being where business is going to triple across the board in the next 5 years? I mean, I know we've talked about expanding at billions of dollars.
Yes.
I mean, how many airframes, I mean, at orders of magnitude?
I would say the growth in our supply is going to come from the third party.
Okay.
There is so much latent demand out in the world. When Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp founded Uber, the taxi and limousine business in the United States was an $8, $9, $10 billion space. Today it's $200 billion. Simple thesis. The American car was parked 23 hours and 30 minutes a day. The great news is you drive by a private airport, 23 hours and 45 minutes a day. The average airplane is flown 150, 200 hours a year. So there's incredible latent supply that our demand can meet. Now again, is an airplane going to fly like a commercial airplane? The answer is no. But I would say that could a private airplane fly another 100, 200, 300 hours in a year? Yeah, we have to find those airframes and those owners. and show them how easy it is to plug them into our system.
It's amazing, and what you've done is you've taken this dream for people who want to own a plane someday, you've made it a reality without removing the luxury of it though. Like suddenly it's attainable for people to fly private, and a lot of these first-time buyers, it's actually their first experience in a private plane.
What we're doing is, what you're describing is affordable luxury. You know, to fly by the seat or to share a flight from New York out to Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard, you can do that for less than $600-700 a seat. That's not unattainable. That's 50 million people in that addressable market that could swing that transaction, and we want to make that transaction easy, available, simple, and real time. You want to fly in a private jet tomorrow, I want to be able to deliver that experience for you.
You heard it here.
I heard it. There's an offer right there on the table.
I'm going home on a plane.
So I think there's another thing, Kenny. We have a close friend who has an airplane that is in your managed fleet. And he's a pilot. He's a chief pilot of the flight department, always Part 91. And they've recently become part of your managed fleet. And we had a conversation with him yesterday that he is working 3 days a week. He's maintained his quality of life, and he's netting his owner 300 hours a year in your managed program and charter to support it. And I think that as a straight and level, we like to shoot it straight and level here. And I think what you've done to preserve the quality of life and the pilot shortage, and you're doing that across many aircraft frames, is really incredible. And I think that that's an underserved...
Well, if your friend has friends, send them to us, because we want more of those arrangements where we can put that charter demand in a very simple, easy way that is going to allow him or her to maintain lifestyle, and we'll do the rest. Like I say, walk up the 8 steps, turn left, and don't worry about it.
Well, to double down on that whole conversation, yesterday he happened to be where you were on the panel and as a guest of someone, and he heard you talk about pilot compensation, and he turned to me and said, it's absolutely true that Wheels Up is taking care of their people in compensation, and he said that he couldn't say that for everybody in the industry.
Well, we're the first players to be able to give public equity via an instrument called a restricted stock unit to our pilots. So our pilots are owners of Wheels Up, and there's nobody in the industry that has that currency.
Next few years, Kenneth, what are you most excited about for Wheels Up?
You know, the COVID crisis came to light mid-March. We scrambled our ambassadors and scrambled our marketing and communications, our partnership with Delta, and we got going with Feeding America. We saw food insecurity as one of the biggest things that was going to be, you know, sort of a byproduct of the COVID crisis. People losing their jobs and needing the basic food, water, shelter. And we partnered with Claire Babineau and Feeding America. We created Meals Up. We got Russell Wilson, our favorite Seattle Seahawks quarterback, and his wife Sierra, who inspired me. J.J. Watt inspired me, Tom Brady. They had all made donations, million meals to Seattle. Tom did one for Tampa and Boston. And J.J. is a longtime partner. They all told me that all arrows should point to Feeding America. We went out in CNBC and we pledged 10 million meals to kick the program off. I'm proud to report we're over 65 million meals we've inspired.
Wow.
And we're just getting started.
Wow.
So we're excited about Meals Up, and we're excited that that was our, you know, sort of our calling. We painted a plane orange with Textron, put it into our Wheels Up Cares fleet. So again, just getting started on Meals Up, and couldn't be more proud that our membership, our customers, our stakeholders, our employees, and our ambassadors got behind it in such a great way. And what a great organization Feeding America is.
So we're all here to talk about National Business Association Aviation, but interestingly enough, a lot of the flying, maybe even most of the flying right now, are friends and families flying, not necessarily corporate flights.
I would say the business of family is an investment that will always pay off. And if you're having grandkids come to you or you're going to see your grandkids, that's real business. That's family business.
That's true. Kenny, thank you so much for giving us some insights today, especially into Wheels Up, your program.
You know, one thing about Wheels Up is we're always straight and level. We always fly straight and level. Thank you for having us.
We really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Kenny.
Thank you.
Everybody out there, just fly straight and fly level, and everything's going to be okay.
It's great to be back face-to-face in the business aviation industry. On behalf of the crew of Straight and Level, a special thanks to all of our guests for joining us live on the broadcast set in the NBAA static display. I'm Hulsey Smith, and until next time, blue skies.